Yes, people, what's going on? Seagull Talks Football. We're back again with another video. I couldn't do my regular match reaction last night as normal as I was out and about, but I did end up giving you guys an upload. So hopefully you guys checked out that video. Let's get into the player rating and, of course, some of the major talking points from yesterday's game. We beat Leeds 4-0. Sorry, should I say we beat Leeds 0, Arsenal 4. And that was a great performance overall, from the amount of goals that we scored to the clean sheet to the just control that we had, from set pieces to open play to defensively, just everything about that game. Full control. Sorry to one of the channel mods, Tim, if you're watching this, your boys Leeds found out why Arsenal are one of the best teams in Europe and why we are currently top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League in Europe, and of course are still in all 4 competitions. Now, before we go any further, please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. There's a lot to discuss on today's video, and we're going to be beginning from before the game when the lineup was set and everything after that. So, of course, first things first, the lineup came out and there was a change in the formation. There was a change in the lineup. There was a change in the setup of the team. And, of course, we've seen the likes of Kai Havertz come into the team. We've seen, of course, Hincapie come back into the side. And Bukayo Saka was still in the lineup at the time. At the time, Bukayo Saka was still in the lineup. So we're going to get into everything in chronicle order. Please do make sure you guys hit the like button as you guys join the video. And don't forget to check out today's title channel sponsor, none other than OK Jersey. The link for OK Jersey will be in the description very, very soon. But I do need to just tell you guys that there is a QR code above my head. You can scan that QR code and get yourselves a discount on OK Jersey for affordable jerseys. Now, first things first, it was nice to see that he actually started with Kai Havertz and Gyokeres, because Kai Havertz and Gyokeres' link up in the last game was really good. And that's why I tweeted, it's nice to see these two starting together. I was excited about that. When the lineup came out, the first thing I said to myself, the link up with Kai Havertz and everything, this was going to be great. And it really did work. So we're going to break it down, what happened and how it worked, because I thought it would work. It worked to a T, especially with the goal that we scored from Zubimendi. But the lineup, the fact that these two were in the lineup together, the link-up play for Gyokeres and Havertz, I thought that's what we're going to see. Now, Havertz did not have as big as an impact as he did versus Kairat, obviously, but it was still nice to see that that Arteta made a lineup change. It was still nice to see that he is still trying to shake things up and make changes left, right, and center. And Odegaard got dropped. So Havertz in, Odegaard was out. Big call, but safe to say it worked regardless of what happened. And it also made Odegaard want to fight for his place and come off the bench and put in some work. So we're gonna speak about that in a second. But yeah, shout out to people in the comments saying set piece FC. I don't really care. I'm worried about Saka. We're gonna talk about Saka in a second, mate. Don't worry. People in the chat, of course, continue to hit that like button. We got 17 people on YouTube, another 45 people on Twitter. So please do hit those like buttons as we continue. But yeah, Odegaard, Havertz and Odegaard, we're going to have to wait and see which one takes the mantle as the main man. But what else we found out was Eze is going to most likely probably feature out wide a little bit more often. And it's also nice to see Hincapie back. But the bench is healthy. The bench is healthy with Jesus, Odegaard, Eze, Martinelli, Madueke. We're good. And Madueke had to feature. So here is the news about Bukayo Saka's injury. Yesterday, Bukayo Saka, before the game, pulled up with as Arteta explained, as a niggle. That's how they explained it. So as we were seeing, Bukayo Saka before the Leeds game on the USA broadcast on CBS Sports, I think they were speaking about it. And Bukayo Saka, this was images of Bukayo Saka pulling up. Images of Bukayo Saka pulling up in training. He was running, and then out of nowhere, he started to pull up, started walking funny, and Bukayo Saka was then taken out of the warm-ups because Bukayo Saka got himself injured before the Leeds game. I hope he's okay. I hope everything is fine with him. But yeah, that was the situation with Bukayo Saka. Basically pulled up and picked himself up with a little bit of an injury pre-game. Since then, have we gotten any news on Bukayo Saka's injury? Let's go and check. Bukayo Saka injury. Uh, Bukayo Saka injury. Any update on Bukayo Saka's injury at this moment in time? Bukayo Saka wasn't comfortable before the game. Bukayo Saka injury. Injured in the warm up. Went down the tunnel with the physio. Didn't look good. 5 hours ago, what did this say? Suffered. No, that's not right. That's not right. Ankle injury was in December. Injury experts delivers verdict on issue. Hip or an abductor injury rather than a hamstring problem. So it looks like a hip or abductor injury. We're gonna have to wait and see. That is of course a Arsenal fan coming to the conclusion based off seeing the video, not actually a doctor who's actually trained to see these things. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. There's no guarantee that that's actually what the injury is, and hopefully Arteta spoke about it. Let's see if Arteta spoke about it in the press conference, because Arteta had a press conference yesterday after the game. He must have spoke about it in the press conference at some point. Did he say anything besides the niggle part? No. He had a little niggle. He wasn't comfortable at the start of the game, so Noni Madueke came in, la 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 la, and it paid off today because he had a real impact in the team. So yeah, he kind of just glances past the Saka injury part. Can I find more information on Saka's injury before we go and continue to break down the game? Because I thought Saka's injury was one of the major talking points in the lead up to the game. Everyone was saying, I hope he's okay. I hope it's nothing serious. I hope he's not gone for too long. But thank God, Noni Madueke came in, stepped in, and made a difference. And of course, we don't know if it's a hip injury or not. But at this moment in time, I'm just going to wait for more doctors to give me an update, or more of the Arsenal team to give us an update on what's going on with Bukayo Saka. So yeah, let's wait and see. We're going to get more information. Once we have more information on Bukayo Saka, I'll let you guys know. But good news, Noni Madueke steps in. Noni Madueke steps in for the injured Bukayo Saka. And I'm not going to lie, Noni Madueke did well. Noni Madueke did well. But before we get into Noni Madueke and everything around Noni Madueke, how's everyone doing in the chat? Let me know how you guys are doing. How's everyone feeling today? Must feel a little bit better after the poor performance versus Manchester United. Real good to see everyone bounce back and make things happen in the way that they did. And of course, Noni Madueke spoke after the game, his late substitution and the impact that he made in the game versus Leeds. I thought Noni Madueke made a great impact, and he was speaking here with Arsenal TV after the game, speaking about how he's made an impact, how he felt like Bukayo Saka couldn't go, and he felt like he could really make a difference. Of course, Arteta also was thrilled to see Noni Madueke step up with of course Saka being injured, but the late impact sub was huge, and it was nice to see Noni Madueke making a difference coming off the bench. We're gonna break it down a little bit more. I might try to even break it down, showing you guys still images from the actual game itself. But yeah, there was a lot to break down for this game because of the fashion in which we won it. 4-0 was not a flattering scoreline at all. We absolutely ran riot over there at Ellen Park. So let's see. And you know what? Ellen Road. And everyone was basically saying, oh, you're gonna drop points. You're gonna drop points. You're gonna drop points. Luckily for us, those people have no idea what the hell they're talking about, because we made Ellen Road silent. Like, we really shut them up. We shut up a lot of the critics. And that is just going to keep the noise down. That's just going to keep the noise down and keep everyone down from talking shit for the next coming weeks and days. So yeah, here we go. Here we go. So this is the potential goal scoring opportunity, the first goal, Zubimendi's first goal. And I thought the reason why Zubimendi's first goal was great, and the reason why Zubimendi's first goal worked so well for Arsenal, and the reason why we scored this goal was because after 10 minutes, if you actually break it down, the reason why this goal was scored was because of the change from Odegaard to Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is in the box. He's another person you have to deal with. You can see here Viktor Gyokeres is in the box, Gabriel is in the box, Saliba is in the box, Timber's in the box. So by the time the ball is getting delivered, you now have two center backs having to deal with Havertz and Gyokeres. You have another two center backs having to deal with Gabriel on the back post, and you have more center backs having to deal with Timber or whoever that is over there. So Zubimendi is basically left free to be able to attack the header. The only reason why this goal is scored is because you have a Kai Havertz in the team. That's another presence that can make the goal go in. So that's great to see right there. I absolutely love the fact that Kai Havertz's substitution made a difference for that first goal. Kai Havertz coming into the team for Odegaard was one of the key reasons why we had so much space in the lead up to that opening goal. And I don't think that is something that is mentioned when analyzing the game. A lot of people just kind of look at it and they say, you know what, maybe Kai Havertz did not have as much of an impact because he didn't have a goal, he didn't have an assist, but just having another person in the box, making that presence was a factor. We also played a lot faster. It felt like the game was a lot more direct, a lot more straight, trying to get at the opponent. And we kind of had to, because I don't know if you guys seen the lineup before the game. That Leeds had, but let me show you guys the Leeds lineup right now before you guys go any further. This was the Leeds lineup. One second. This was the Leeds lineup right there. Leeds basically had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defenders. 7 defenders. And if you want to count Brendan Erison also, they used one of these guys as another defender. So they basically had 8 defenders almost for majority of the game. Whatever you want to do, they did not want to concede that many goals. They were set up defensively to play with a low block, and you know what? We still scored. If I go to SofaScore and I go to this game right here, and I go to the average positioning of each team, you will see how they were set up defensively and how we were set up defensively. This was the average positioning of the Leeds players. This is their forward line. They had 1, 2, 3 players past their halfway line. 3 players. For example, Arsenal had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players past the halfway line. We only had 4 players back. They had only 3 players forward. If you want to include the number 2 that's on the line, they had 4 players. So they barely got forward. They played one of the deepest lines that they've played in a while. And if you look at the substitutes that came on were a little bit more forward thinking. But of course, in the first half, it was all them defending. And it just goes to show you the momentum. Now, if I can go back to the previous one, this game, we had all the momentum. And the best part about this game, once we scored that first goal, we didn't let them off. We continued to push. And that's where we got the own goal directly from the corner. And it was nice to see Noni Madueke making a big impact. So he basically got the first goal, and he basically got the own goal also, because he shot that shit directly from the corner. It was great to see. But yeah, shout out to everyone in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought. Set piece again, ole ole. Everyone's just making fun of set pieces, but I do think there's a level of jealousy from the set pieces and the conversations around set pieces and everything else. I do feel like there's a level of jealousy with the way that people speak about Arsenal's goals, the way that the fact that we're scoring goals from set pieces. It kind of pisses people off that we're so good at it. And I used to see Liverpool get celebrated for being good at it, but all of a sudden Arsenal we're criticized. We're heavily criticized for it. It is what it is. Unfortunately for Noni Madueke, that does not count as an assist. It doesn't count as an assist for Noni Madueke, but his overall impact with Bukayo Saka being out injured. Why do we sign Noni Madueke? People said it's because when Saka gets injured, we have somebody who's of the quality that can step in. And you know something, he has not been he's never going to be Saka. You're not going to go and find a like for like for Bukayo Saka, in my opinion. But what we have found is somebody who's English, somebody who's left-footed, who can play on the right-hand side and make a little bit of a difference in these close games. And it kind of eased the pressure in the game the moment we scored that second goal directly from the corner. And he has massively improved his set piece delivery from since his days at Chelsea. I don't remember Noni Madueke making that big of a difference in his set piece delivery when he was at Chelsea. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember seeing Noni Madueke making a difference at Chelsea from corners or set pieces in general? Was he even making passes from set pieces? Was he tasked with doing deliveries from set pieces when he was that thing? I don't know, but yeah, to me, this is just Man City fans and rivals in general just getting upset about our set pieces. Look at this. I go on the internet, first thing I see, set piece FC is going to win the league like this. They will do irreparable damage to the Premier League as a product. An absolute disgrace this is. Bullshit. This is just bullshit. At this point, we just have to keep drinking their tears. Facts. Arsenal fans will just have to keep drinking Man City and all these clubs' tears. You support a club that's literally sports washing, corrupt scheme, and will be here to send your slum of English. Ooh, no adherent cheating. We will. No, the inherent cheating will do irreparable damage to the Premier League as a product. And there's nothing wrong with scoring goals from set pieces, but people are just salty, man. People are just salty, and they forget that other great teams have also used set pieces in the past. But hey, big up, bro. Great win yesterday. Yeah, for you guys also, man. Chelsea, great comeback win for Chelsea. That was a big comeback win for Chelsea. Let's see how you guys get on for the rest of the season. Do me a favor, guys. Your top scorer is own goals. That is actually not true. That is actually not true. But if it was, who gives a shit? Honestly, why do you care? Why would anybody care? If we're scoring own goals, it's really just because we're putting pressure on the opponent. That's all it really is. Like, we're really putting pressure on the opponent. And Arsenal's top goal scorer is not own goals, to be fair. Arsenal's top goal scorer now is Viktor Gyokeres, as he scored in the game and he made it 6 for 6. But Arsenal's own goals this year can be one of our best players. I could not care less. This was at halftime before Viktor Gyokeres scored his goal. Arsenal's joint top goal scorer was own goals for a short period of time. Arsenal's joint top goal scorer was own goals, and everyone's just laughing. Ha ha ha! They score set pieces and own goals. Ha ha ha! They don't score from open play. We score more goals from open play than some of you guys scored all season. I'm just saying, like, you guys do realize Arsenal are like one goal off Man City's total goals for the season. It's not that big of a gap between Arsenal and Man City when it comes to goals scored. The gap is really because of our defense. The gap is really because of our defense being great. And those own goals, some of them are just direct crosses going into the goal. Think about it. Declan Rice, directly from a corner. Noni, directly from a corner. Saka, directly from a corner versus Wolves. That's 3 goals just directly from corners. Then Manchester United deflected off of what's his name? Off of Lisandro Martinez. And then Wolves, it deflected off that player late in the game who headed it off of Gabriel Jesus. What Gabriel Jesus was trying to get a header, the player headed it into his own net. Mascara. So that's the 5 own goals off the top of my head. I just named them. 3 from corners, 2 direct and open play, 1 from Lisandro Martinez, 1 from Mascara versus Wolves, and that's our 5 own goals. Like, if that guy wasn't there, Jesus probably heads it in. If Lisandro Martinez is not there, Trossard heads it in. And then the other 3 are just directly from corners. If you like, I'm not really too bothered. I'm not really too bothered by the own goals. It's just another way of scoring goals, and it's not illegal. It's not cheating. All of a sudden, people really care about own goals and everything else. I think it's really just so sometimes you guys just sound like you're jealous to me. It just sounds like a little bit of jealousy. That's really what it sounds like to me. I'm not gonna lie. Sounds like a little bit of jealousy. But yeah, let's get to the super chats. Let's see what Netweed is talking about today. Egal, mate, you said fans like Lee Gunner and Northside are extreme. What's not extreme about our last title being it? Sorry, 1 second. Let me just say this, Netweed. Personally, I basically was saying they're extreme in the sense that they want the manager sacked, regardless of what's going on. Like, every drop point, they're saying sack the manager, sack the manager, sack the manager. That to me was the extreme. I do think they're an extreme side of the Arsenal fan base that is ridiculous at times, and I don't think that is ridiculous. I do think they can make some points. We can agree and disagree on some things, but I think they just think dramatically different from people who are in the middle and people who are positive like myself. There's people who are glass half empty. There's people who are glass half full. Most of the times, they're glass half empty. Every drop point is a crisis. Every loss is the end of the world, and this is why we need to sack the manager, and this is why he's a fraud. I don't think you can attribute what's happened at the club since 2004 to what's going on now. The people who run the club are different. The manager it's different. All these other things are different. If you want to speak about the last 5-6 years, fair. But if you're going to talk about since 2004, I think that in itself is an extreme, which we don't really need to go down. We cannot afford to drop points versus any of the top 5 teams. Good for us. We don't face too many of the top 5 teams anymore. So why would I be too worried about that? Why would I be too worried about that since we don't face too many of the top 5 teams anymore? Anyways, shout out to you, Netweed, every time, man. You always have super chats and questions, but we don't face too many of the top 5 teams. We could drop points to majority. We've dropped points in majority of those games, but guess what? We also didn't drop many points over the last couple of years versus the top 6 teams, and we still didn't win the league. If we drop points versus them and we still win the league, it just goes to show you those other points outside of just the top 6 is just as important. And if we beat Leeds or if we beat Man United, it's the same 3 points. It's just, guess what? Dropping points to Leeds is a little bit more unacceptable than dropping points to Man United. So I guess at this moment in time, my main point is you're going to drop points throughout the season. It's just, if you win the league and you gain the advantage over your opponents by winning when you need to, who really cares? 3 weeks ago, we were 2 points ahead of Man City. Now we're 7 points ahead of Man City with them having a game in hand to play Tottenham today. If they drop points to Tottenham, we'll be back to 7 points, and it will be as if we never lost to Man United, in my mind. But hey, I get the frustration. I get the annoyance. I hate when people scream, sack the manager, and when they are fruitless in their first season. You've been fruitless for 6 years. To be fair, we did win the FA Cup, and we have been in the title race for the last couple. We've been in the title race for 3 of the last 4 seasons. So I don't think it's fruitless. I think Man United, as a Man United fan or whoever you support, you'd probably would be happy to switch positions with Arsenal right now, being one of the best teams in Europe and one of the best teams in the Champions League. Gyökeres has 6 goals in the league as of yesterday. Yep. That's why this graphic is old. We're going to talk about that though in a second. Last question for the day. Egal, question for you. If Arteta can't get us over the line, do you think it's time for him to step down or give him another year, mate? Nah, if we don't win the league or Champions League, it might be time for him to leave. But honestly, we'll talk about that when it gets to that point, because at this moment in time, I think this team is too good not to win a Champions League or a league, and it's kind of solely down to the recruitment and the building of the squad that we've done, and he has had a big part to it. But if we don't win the league this season, it will be more down to the manager, in my opinion, than the players, and that's just a fact. By the way, Mr. Egal, I have formally offered you the services for the player Jude Bellingham. He's a total winner and would get over the line anytime. 100 million, he's yours. You really don't like Jude Bellingham that much? That is crazy. Won't Egal because don't have Egal because Arsenal don't have the mentality to win trophies. That's not true. We actually do have the mentality. We just haven't won it. So you haven't seen it. Until you see it, you won't believe it. I get it. But yeah, let's get back to the game, guys. Let's get back to the game. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. So shout out to the 44 people on YouTube and the 135 on Twitter. Please come join us on YouTube, Eagle Talks Football. That's where we are at right now. And I would love to have more interactive conversation with you guys in the chat. Next, Leeds got dominated in their own backyard. That is just the facts. Leeds got dominated. They were dominated from the beginning to the end, and it was a total demolition job over Leeds. They had no statistical leg to stand on. The majority of the momentum, if I show you the momentum chart was pretty much in our favor the whole entire game. We had 14 shots, 6 big chances created. If you look here, 6 big chances created, 8 shots on target. We missed 5 big chances. Unbelievable. Somehow we're still able to miss 5 big chances. This was a good opportunity to stat pad and get ourselves up. They gave us 12 corners. What were they thinking? 12 corners? We're going to score from a couple of those corners. Let's be real. And then, Gabriel Jesus, this guy, he's hilarious. But we're going to get into that. Also, I just wanted to show you open play goals, 1.34, set play, 0.84, non-penalty goals. There you go. So XG on target. I don't even know what that means. XG on target shots. Fair. How many shots were on target? 8 of our 14 shots were on target. 4 were off target. 2 were blocked. So yeah, fairs. We had 14 shots. Only 2 of them were from outside the box. 12 of them were inside the box. It just goes to show you how many touches did they have in our box. What? We had 28 touches in the opponent's box. They had 21? That's crazy. They had almost as many touches as us in our box. That is insane. I never... how did that even happen? They barely... Passes in their own half, passes in opponent's half. Total passes. Yo, we had similar amount of passes. That's crazy. They had a better pass accuracy than us as a team. That's insane. But yeah, I just thought they got dominated, but it looks like the stats back that up also. So that's why I was pulling that up. Let's go. I swear we played 4-4-2 yesterday. We basically almost played that. But what kit is that? I swear that you're a Chelsea fan. Are you a Chelsea fan or are you an Arsenal fan? Dre, why you got Graham Potter's face on Garnacho? I'm so confused. Good morning, Egal. Good morning, brother Egal. Really enjoyed the game yesterday. One day off versus United. Don't write us off. the great work from Mikel having done this season. Both City and Villa will drop points this game week. That would be great. Taking a piss out of Garnacho, he's trash. Fairs. I was just wondering why the hell you had that picture. But yeah, do me a favor, guys. Please do like the video. Please do share it. Let people know we're live right now, so we can get more people in the building, as we are live in the building right now. But yeah, let's get to the next bit of business, bro. Guys, I thought Viktor Gyokeres had a good opportunity to score a goal, and he didn't take it. And then later on, he went and scored again. So he had a good opportunity on goal to score. He did not take his chance. And then later on, he had a good opportunity to score again, and he finally took it. But my main point was he's starting to get in those opportunities more and more throughout the games. We're starting to see Gyokeres get more and more chances throughout the game. We're starting to see Viktor Gyokeres get more and more opportunities in the box, in and around goal, facing goal. And that is exactly what we want to see. Now, before I talk about the substitutions and everything else, I did think he should have maybe finished his dinner on the chance that he had earlier in the game. He had a chance earlier in the game, which he should have finished his dinner. He didn't really take it quite well. So let me just pull that up. Let me just pull that up. Where is it? I'm trying to find the YouTube video. Just bear with me. I'm trying to find the YouTube video of the Arsenal game from Sky. If I can find you guys a still image of the actual moment that I'm speaking about, that would be perfect. So here we go. So we're 2-0 up. And then I think who plays Gyokeres through on goal? Somebody plays Gyokeres through on goal in the second half. In the second half, once the game kicks off in the second half, somebody threw second half. So oh, here it is. Here it is. Let me just look at it. Who passed that? Who is that? Is that Trossard? Trossard, what a pass. Trossard, first time passes the ball to Viktor Gyokeres into space. Viktor Gyokeres then has to find a way to get the ball under control and take a shot. And this is what he does. So imagine this. So this was the moment, right? This is the moment I'm talking about. Viktor Gyokeres, Trossard is here. Trossard somehow passes the ball first time into space into Viktor Gyokeres there, right? Now let's just go fast forward just a little bit. Now Viktor Gyokeres into space, the man's behind him, he has the ball, and he's through on goal. He has to score in that position. What happens? He's about to set up for the shot, literally just entering area where he can shoot and get a good shot off in front of the keeper. What happens? The defender is able to get just ahead of him. The defender is just able to get ahead of him just when he's about to get the shot off. And if I can just boom. Let me just go back so I don't get copyright striked, and I can just pause it there. Boom. Just when he's about to take the shot, the defender recovers and blocks the shot. I can't fault him. He did everything he's supposed to do. He did everything right that you're supposed to do. You set yourself up for the shot. You got the ball under control. You're about to let the shot off. You're about to round the keeper with the shot, and he has the ability to get it on target. He's not going to miss that. But the shot is blocked. And I'm like, damn, Viktor Gyokeres, that's what we needed you to do. That's what we needed you to get the goal from. Some of these chances, you have to take them. But guess what? He didn't. What happens, and we have to move on. The defender played well. Sometimes defenders do well, but then later on, after some substitutions, which I thought Mikel Arteta made some great substitutions, by the way. If I'm going to mention anything, I do have to mention the fact that the substitutions today from Arteta, very good substitutions. First of all, Noni Madueke coming in for Saka, great. Then Martinelli coming in for Noni, and Odegaard coming in for Havertz. Great subs. Arteta's substitutions were great. And also Jesus coming on later for Viktor Gyokeres, he scored also. So great substitutions all around. But before we continue, I just wanted to point out the substitutions, their impact in the game to make it 4-0, 3-0 were great. Really did help the overall team performance by adding more quality into the team coming off the bench. But yeah, let's get to this part. So this right here, first things first, I want to get to the part where they show the actual movement, because Gyokeres' movement was important for today's goal. This was from this situation here. Martinelli was playing on the right wing. I'm going to show it to you guys. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see it? Let me know. Can you see it? I've already changed back to the other screen. Can you see it? Let me know if you guys can see it, because I'm just gonna show you so you guys can see Viktor Gyokeres here. You guys can see wait, somebody said no. 1 second. Now you can see it, right? All right. So yeah, Martinelli's over here. Viktor Gyokeres is in the bottom, at the top of the screen, right? The important thing is Viktor Gyokeres actually his movement was so much better. Shit, what the hell's going on? His movement was actually so much better for this goal, because once Martinelli cut inside, you can see Viktor Gyokeres is getting ready to make the run behind the in front of the defender to get to the ball. And then once Martinelli actually makes the cross, you can see Viktor Gyokeres has made his run. He got to the ball first. He beat the defender to the ball, and he gets a tap in. But the runs that he was not making earlier in the season, he made in this game. This is what we needed from Viktor Gyokeres. We needed these runs. We needed these movements. We needed these moments where he can just beat his man and be the first one to the ball and score. And that was great. And also the Martinelli coming on and making the difference, also playing on the right side, crossing it in with his weak foot, also crossing it in with his weak foot, which is his right foot. Fair play. No, with his left foot, sorry. His weak foot is his left foot. Crossing it in, Martinelli coming on and crossing it in with his left foot, fair play. And then if we go to Gabriel Jesus' goal, Gabriel Jesus could have scored a hat trick. It's crazy to think Gabriel Jesus had the ball crossed in from Timber. What happened when he crossed the ball, when the ball crossed in from Timber? Because he couldn't even get it on target. The header, no, wait, the header was saved. Sorry. The header was saved. The goalkeeper did a good job saving the header. My apologies. That was a great save from the goalkeeper. Strong header on target, right through the middle. Goalkeeper saved it. Then there was another chance. Odegaard gets the ball to Jesus. And the goal that Jesus actually scored was crazy. Look at this. The goal that Jesus actually scored is crazy, because he made the defender hesitate, saved himself a couple seconds, and then slotted it. Fair play to Jesus. Great goal from Jesus. And I just thought overall the team performance was great. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to do the player ratings. Let me know what you guys thought about the game. And if you disagree or agree with any of my player ratings, please let me know. As for the Arsenal player ratings, let's get into it. Arsenal player ratings. I'm just going to go to Arseblog and I'm going to get this pulled up for you guys. So first things first, goalkeeper. I thought Raya, they gave Raya a 7. I was going to give him a 7 also. I thought Raya was solid. He did. They're right. He didn't have much to do today. So I'm going to give Raya a 7. Timber, I originally gave Timber a 7 also. So I'm going to keep it as a 7. Keep it as a 7 for Timber also. Saliba, solid performance. I didn't think he had to do much. I don't know why they're giving 7.5s. I'm gonna keep giving 7s. I thought great performance from him. Gabriel, great performance, 7 for him. Hincapie, great, decent performance also. I thought he was solid. I'm gonna give him a 7 also. Zubimendi scored the goal. was all over the place, very influential in the game. I agree with the 8. I was going to give an 8 also. Declan Rice, I don't know why they're giving out. I don't know why they're giving out 8s. I thought he was decent. He was a good player, one of the solid pieces to the game, but to me, he didn't stand out as one of the key players that helped us win the game. He was a good piece to the cog, but nothing crazy for me. Havertz, did not see the best of performances from Havertz, but he did make slight difference. I'm going to give him a 6.5. I just don't think that anything else. Noni Madueke goal basically from the cross, set up Zubimendi's goal. I thought he was one of the man of the matches. I'm going to give him 8.5. And then Trossard, another just quiet game. I'm going to give him 6.5, same as Havertz. Gyokeres got himself on the goal sheet, did his job, adequate. And you know what? Later in the games, if he stays later in games, most likely he's going to probably score more goals. 6 goals now for Arsenal. Fair play to Gyokeres. I'm going to give him an 8. Martinelli came on and set up an assist right away. Fair play to him. I'm going to give him a 7. Great performance. Martin Odegaard came on, got an assist also for the 4th goal. He put in a little bit of work. I'm going to give him a 7 also. And then I did not see enough from Calafiori. I'm going to give him a 6. I didn't see enough from Calafiori. Gabriel Jesus got a goal right away when he came on. I'm going to just give him an 8. Eze came on for Trossard, barely played. No rating for him. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I thought that was a great win, and hopefully Tottenham get something from the Tottenham. Hopefully Man City draw today to Tottenham, but obviously I don't want Tottenham to win either. So I don't know. It is what it is. His finish is so inconsistent. Same thing at Kyra. Yeah, true. Anyways, I'm gonna man of the match is definitely What man of the match? Zubimendi. I was gonna go man of the match. Noni. I was gonna give Noni Madueke the man of the match, but maybe I'm wrong. Some people are saying Zubimendi. A lot of people, to be fair, are saying Zubimendi deserves man of the match, but I was gonna give it to Noni Madueke, filling in for Bukayo Saka, helping lead to the first 2 goals. Fair play to him. I thought he was integral to helping us get the victory. And that is pretty much it for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. I don't got much more to say. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys check out more of my content. Zubimendi's defensive work is underrated. That is true. But yeah, I'm just giving my opinion. You guys can tell me what you guys think in the comments. Who do you think the man of the match was? And Noni had more impact, also more mistakes. I think him and Noni were similar overall. Fair. And you know what? It's just good to see Zubimendi bounce back after his mistake versus Man United also. That is another thing. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Love for the love, people. Have yourselves a wonderful day. And we're out of here. Peace.